Y'all, it's really starting to concern me that Nicki Minaj, the boy, the roommate, is really possessed. And all it took was for Megan to divinely bring this demon out and show y'all this woman need help. Listen to this clip of Nicki going off on live, because I don't know if it's a demon or she doing too much white baby powder. But y'all, what the fuck? Listen.
Lied on your dead mama. 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 Mama, lied on your dead mama. Lied on your dead mama.
And this proves she got a demon. She tweaking.
Because I want nobody else out. And don't ever all that my
What? So before I even speak on what I want to speak on, peep gang, watch this. Let me explain something to you as I do this. You see, because of who I am and the history that I study, I know what is what, to what background I have, to where my spirit come from. And one of them being, how can I say this? I partially come from a place called Kush. And you feel me? I like to smoke weed. So, you feel me? You can say what you want about that. But I wanted to say that to say, in black people, you see that that's something that a lot of us just naturally cling on to overall. And do you know why that is? Because it's part of us. And what I mean by that is the people, the cricket system, they tricked you into believing that something as natural or that has such natural properties as weed is something bad for you to an extent if they can't control over it. And that's not to say that I'm just saying for smoking purposes, but there's also other uses for it, as far as body oils of healing properties, being used for medicine, used for dietary habits. It's different things, you know, different ways, different forms. But I said that to say that they make it out to seem like that's such a bad thing to do when it really isn't. It was wrote in back in the beginning of time. And as I said, because of the land of what my people come from and where we reside from with different aspects of life and how we do, I'm just answering that for a lot of people, because a lot of people wonder or get judged on for their preference, I would say. And I'm just saying that to clarify in the air. If that's your preference, don't be ashamed of it. Don't let nobody judge you. Don't let nobody talk you out of what you need to figure out for yourself, what makes the best thing work for you. Because you feel me, just because they may not like it or it don't help them the way it does you, don't mean that you should feel like you should be blasphemed or shamed or discarded or whatever the fuck the case is, just cause. You feel me? It is what it is. But you gotta have enough self-confidence to know who you are and not let nobody else talk you out of shit. No. No, this for the kids. This is just a brown cigarette. So you feel me? My fault. I forgot I already talked about it. But anyways, man, I said that to say this. You just seen me do this, and this is, to some practices, what people call ritualistic. or a form of a ritual, I would say, because it's a daily practice for me because of my Rastafarian nature. So you feel me? Rastafarian don't just mean you smoke weed and you feel me, do all this down the third. There's more concepts and layers and depths to it. One of them being that it's just more so a lifestyle of finding peace and comfort with who you are and your heritage enough to understand it. That's why I explained the weed thing. Now that aside, I'm about to show you a couple different things on this real quick, because I just want to clarify a couple things and put some shit in the air other than this blunt, you feel me? Now give it a second, because watch this. You see how ain't nothing changing me, right? Now, as I explained previously in other videos, one of the things about me is I have PTSD, or not just post-traumatic stress disorder, but I have multiple personality disorder. So I have different aspects of personalities that I can tap into. And it's not to say like I'm on some crazy shit or no shit like that, because everybody has their own way of coping with things in life. And one of the things that I figured out how to cope with for myself, to figure out more of who I am and accept myself for what I am in all aspects throughout my entire life, was transitioning different personalities to different situations. That's where the multiple personality disorder come from, because there's certain situations I can't always be a certain type of way. So I got to switch it up, switch my flow, whatever the fuck the case is, switch my mindset. So that being said, one of the things that we all can do as conscious beings is, what's the word I want to use? Tap into your inner realm. And in your inner realm is what heaven is. You feel me? Heaven is the temple that is in yourself. You feel me? The paradise that is within yourself. The reality that you make in this world is what your heaven is. You feel me? You are God's to your own extent of your mind, because your mind is the only thing that can limit you in this world. We're all spiritual vibrations with a shell of flesh over our actual spirit. You feel me? That's what make us do all this walking, talking, all this shit. We are telepathical beings, and me speaking isn't from me actually speaking, but it's from the sound from my soul coming from the depths within. And I said that to say this. You see how I'm doing this? I'm talking, you feel me, just on some average normal shit. Now, it's basically like two parts to this video, because the other thing I want to explain after I get a little more into detail what I'm already talking about, you're going to see why I'm talking about some of the shit I'm talking about. But as spiritual vibrations, we can tap into different realms, different dimensions, different things. That's why we have what is called a third eye. It's our pineal gland. I'm probably saying it wrong on how I'm saying it, but you know what I'm trying to say. And with that being said, it's like everyone has that. Everyone can tap into that, but everyone isn't woke enough or strong-willed enough or even open-minded enough to understand and know about it. Now, I said that to say this. As I said, this is just the average ritualistic thing. But because of society, what's the word I want to use? The caveman from Mount Caucasus. Because of that, it's more so that certain people is tricked into certain aspects. What motherfuckers call rituals and shit like that, as far as praising the devil and all that shit, bro, that is not actually ritualistic of what that is not ritualistic. That is a ritual. summoning spirits that is not a part of yourself. And you feel me? That being said, I said that to say this. This is the second part I wanted to get into in this video. I'm not really trying to explain too much, but I want to explain enough to lead on to the next video type shit. So, how do I want to say this? Because we are spiritual vibrations, we are light vibrations. God and the devil is what your spirit makes it out to be in your mind. Heaven and hell is both within. Just like other aspects I'm not really trying to speak on right now, but I said that to say that people confuse rituals with ritualistic. And ritualistic is something else that's a part of our culture that we just ritualistically do without even noticing that we do it, but it's just in us. Is, you feel me? Like, let me, cause you feel me? I wish I had some liquor, but you feel me? Like, just pouring some out for the dead homies, you feel me? Now, that's something that's like, I say, mocked upon in certain ways or laughed at in certain ways, but people don't understand that we're actually giving praise to not only just fallen soldiers, but people before us, whether we know it or don't know it. It's just something that's in our nature as black people because of what we are all connected from, as far as being melanated people the way we are as black. No matter what's the word I use, no matter what type of race you may be mixed with, or you feel me, branched off from type shit, whatever culture, whatever the case is. So it's like we all do certain things without even noticing it because we're all connected in one way. That's why we're all brothers and sisters in one way. Not to say it in oh no shit, but you feel me, like on a incest type of aspect, but just more so on the level of that's who we are as people, as a race, as a culture, as a black person, you feel me? And I'm saying this to say, like, y'all kind of ain't see like no real average difference to where you could see like, oh, this nigga crazy and shit. But as the conversation is going on, I'm tapping into different personalities of myself to lead on with this conversation. And it's not only that, but I'm also, hold on, wait, here's the kicker to it. Here's the kicker. Hold on now. Let me, because I want y'all to understand something. Okay, now look, watch this. So, my second part of this video is basically gonna talk about how someone like peep my personality, see different aspects of me. They think one thing until they actually, what's the word I want to use? Have a conversation with me and see who I really am from different aspects and levels. So one of the things that like the guy that I was having this conversation with brought up was that I'm kind of like grim, I would say. And he said that not like in a disrespectful way. I personally wouldn't take that disrespectfully anyway. You feel me? My personality is dark because my lifestyle is dark. You feel me? I'm black. It is what it is. You feel me? I'm black is a powerful color. Grim is not the aspect of what people make it out to be. But anyway, so he said I'm grim because of like he sees the way my personality is as far as like, or my characteristics as far as like with the skulls, you feel me, and how I pretty much just have a lot of skeleton themed what's the word I use, attire, you feel me. And that's because of the aspect of before I knew it to even when I notice it now. Like I started studying certain aspects, or just learning more, I say in general, within like the past 2, maybe 3, 4 months now. But I say on the aspect of it connecting dots that were left unconnected before previously, them 3, 4, whatever months. You feel me? And it's not to say like my lifestyle changed or nothing, but it just, like I said, it made me understand more about who I am as a person, why I am, how I am, what I do, the things I do, why I do them, because it's just naturally in me as part of being my culture and my spirit. Now, I brought up the spirits to say, like, the reason I don't really take offense to being grim is because the skulls is a representation of the people before me. And that means that I keep, what's the word I use? I don't forget, and I keep my ancestors' spirit in my heart. So you feel me? It's like the skulls represent everything that they've been through. You feel me? So something that when I transition into the next realm, I'm going to become no different from one of my ancestors because of the way I am in life, the way my transitions are, the things that I do. It's a lot of aspects I'm not really trying to explain too much on. But my skeletons, as I said, is to represent and make me never forget things of history, the past, the struggles, the success, the legacy, the lineage, the obstacles we overcame, everything that I give praise to. You feel me? Like, first off, let me correct myself, because I don't give praise. I give my respects and gratitude, if that makes sense, because I don't worship anyone. I don't praise anyone. When they say this shit like you praise the dead and this, that, and the third, no, I don't praise the dead. I don't forget what the dead went through for me to be where I am now, because a lot of people don't understand that. Put it like this: your mother and your grandmother is what brought you here, but then think about your grandmother's mother, your grandma, you feel me, 4, 5, 7, whatever generations previously, leading all the way back to the beginning of life from where it started from. I can't forget about all that shit, because I can't forget about the history. I don't live in the past, but I also can't forget about the past, because the past led up to the future, which leads to my present. You feel me? And as far as like on the aspect of when I said in another video about me being a voodoo child, you feel me? I'm sorry, a Vadu child. You feel me? That's because, as I said, people have certain misconceptions and understandings about what these things are because of the way they were taught and raised and brought up with all these lies or whatever the fuck the case is from the other man's culture. And you feel me? It kind of like confused us enough for us to not understand the difference from religion and spirituality, to where they fear what we come from, which is spirituality, on the aspects of it being so deep that religion is based off of our spirituality, which is why we're so connected to it. Because religion isn't really, I say it's like 50-50, 50% history, 50% his story. And then, you feel me, it's like the 50% that is history is still changed into his story. So it's like, it's a lot of aspects of truth and false in it, for where people misconfuse faith with facts. And you feel me, those are two different things. You feel me? And as I said, it's not that I'm saying that to say like I'm not partially religious or whatever. I'm just more spiritual than I am religious, because I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person. Because, as I said, at the end of the day, how can I say this without saying it? Because I want to say it in another video. At the end of the day, if you learn your history, you gonna understand a lot of shit, which is why they hide a lot of shit from us, because we don't understand it, because we're taught certain shit, you feel me, and we make it look like it's basic shit that we shouldn't really be too grateful or proud of. But if you actually knew the lineage and our history and what we come from, what we created in life, the things that we done, the things that man, I'ma just say, like, we're basically what makes the go round, the whole world, you feel me? So it's like on every aspect, past, present, and future tense. So it's like I see a lot of shit and I understand a lot of shit, and I'm not really trying to talk about too much in this video, but as I said, that's where people get the misconception of a lot of stuff, a lot of aspects of what voodoo is, Vadu, and you feel me, get the wrong perceptions of it. And you feel me, don't get me wrong, because I ain't saying it to say like it's not just all, I mean, it's all good aspects, it's bad aspects too, but it's more so what the false narrative that people have on it that they don't understand it with. And like I said, there's more to it, because I'm not really trying to speak on too much about it, because if you know, you know, and if you don't know, you don't know. But you feel me, like, we just need to learn more about our past culture, as the race that we are, the people that we are. Be proud of it and take pride in it. It's so, yeah, man, y'all don't even know the past history of what we've been through, and I'm not really trying to explain too much in this video, but man, like, well, as I said, man, then it's like, if you do know, you understand a lot more, and for you to do that, you gotta understand a lot more aspects of learning and growing in life, and not living in the past enough to, what's the word I'm gonna use, not move on, because you feel me, the past don't make the present or the future, you feel me, the past just make us learn and reflect from it to what we can do to overcome the struggles that we go through. But we ain't gotta hold the other races, what's the word I use, because I can't say not accountable. We just have to understand it enough so we'll know how to have a mutual understanding and cordiality with other races. I could say that. Yeah. See, man, y'all don't be knowing. It's knowledge is power. But me talking like this, y'all don't even realize the difference. But I wasn't the only one talking. I also summoned my ancestors so they can be one of the voices that speaks from this vessel of flesh. And I just want to say, like, if you learn your history, you know a lot, and it's not just about knowing, but more so understanding, because when you do, you understand what you are and everything that you were. And it's so deep. Like, before I eat, I say, like, you give it enough time for you to be culturally universal. That's the word I use for other cultures when they ask me basically like what I am, in a way, because I can't really tell them the aspects of what I actually am because of the history. That's for blacks to know. But you feel me, like, as far as what I have a mutual respect for, I'm culturally universal to the point I can speak other languages. You feel me? Like, I can speak about maybe 12 languages and counting, and I'm still trying to learn more. And it's not that I can have full conversations of full blown how I want to yet, where it become second nature conversation wise. You feel me? The only other thing I could really say is and second nature for me is español. Yo hablo español mucho, sí, But you feel me? I know some Japanese. Noni? I'm sorry, I can't resist, but you feel me? I know I definitely I know I'm starting to learn a lot of I don't want to say too much right now, but I know a little something from universal cultural. I say that, just keep it at that. But I'm about to get ready to just try to figure out most stuff, and I just want to expand y'all mind some more, enough to understand and have more knowledge, because knowledge is power. That's why they don't want us to have that power, because they don't want us to have that knowledge. I see in Amani. That's 2 more languages for you.